Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. Really excited to be talking with all of you about some of the work that we've been doing with authoring experience with Drupal. Let me stop my video here for a second and get screen sharing going. All right, great. So hopefully everybody can see my screen. Again, really excited to be talking again about authoring experience and some of the work that we've been doing with Drupal. This is something that I'm particularly passionate about. I spend a lot of time working with our team and our clients on authoring experience and authoring experience tools. For those who have seen any of the demos that I've done in the past, featuring layout paragraphs, this is going to be really familiar to you and possibly even feel a little bit repetitive in some places. Mercury Editor is very much related to and built on top of some of the work we've been doing with layout paragraphs. So again, really excited to dive in here today. So today, let me actually get captions going here. So today, we're going to be covering first Mercury Editor, what it is, how it works, and also who it's for, who we built this product for. I want to talk a little bit about the key features of Mercury Editor, what its capabilities are. We're going to talk through the Mercury Editor ecosystem, and specifically what we mean by that is the collection of Drupal modules, of freely available contributed Drupal modules that Mercury is built on top of. We'll do a live demo and show how this works specifically in the context of building a case study on the Aten website, which is a great example of the kind of content that Mercury was built to work for. Again, if you've seen a presentation of layout paragraphs in the past, this is going to be really similar, although we are going to cover some additional features and some of the capabilities of Mercury that go beyond what's available in layout paragraphs. And then finally, should have plenty of time for questions and feedback at the end. So I'm really looking forward to hearing questions and feedback that y'all might have. All right, so let's dive in. So Mercury Editor brings effortless drag and drop publishing to Drupal. We specifically built Mercury Editor to meet the needs of organizations who want to empower their marketing and editorial teams to create dynamic, visual, long-form content without having to constantly reach out to developers, outside agencies, technical staff, and in many ways, us, like without having to keep involving developers and outside agencies. We built Mercury Editor on a collection of tools that we have been developing for the past couple of years and have deployed with a broad range of clients, organizations like colleges and universities, government and public sector organizations, nonprofit organizations and publishers, museums and cultural heritage institutions. So basically, Mercury was designed for any organization who cares about or who needs to create, again, rich, dynamic, visual content, and wants their editorial staff and their marketing staff to be able to do that without, again, having to reach out constantly to developers and outside agencies. I want to talk about key features in Mercury. First and foremost, Mercury provides really easy to use drag and drop editing that is optimized for content creators. Mercury is not a developer tool. It's not a site builder's tool. Mercury is really a tool for the people who actually work with and create content for their organization. Mercury provides component-based content authoring. For those of you who come from a Drupal background or who are familiar with kind of the Drupal ecosystem, Mercury is based on the paragraphs module and borrows from the paragraphs module. So when we talk about component types, we're really talking about, at a technical level, paragraph types in Drupal. With Mercury, you can choose from dozens of available component types, ranging again from simple text to rich media. Mercury provides customizable styles for content elements, and styles can be customized in a very centralized way. Mercury gives themers a way to design and manage styles centrally for an entire site. Mercury provides inline text editing with CK Editor 5. We'll cover that a little bit more when we talk about ecosystem and get into the demo here. Of course, Mercury works seamlessly with Drupal 9. Mercury really is a suite of customizations and configuration on top of a collection of Drupal 9 modules or Drupal modules, and we'll cover what those are here in a minute. Mercury supports custom workflows. We know that moderation and workflow is super important for people who work with content, and Mercury works seamlessly with Drupal's tools for custom moderation and workflow. And then finally, we're continuing to make ongoing enhancements and add new features to the product. That's something else that we're really excited about, with being able to kind of wrap these modules in this, again, this whole idea of Mercury Editor. Before we dive into a demo, I do want to talk a little bit about the ecosystem and just kind of cover what Drupal modules Mercury is based on. So I mentioned layout paragraphs. So before I get to that, Mercury makes heavy use of the layout API in Drupal core. Mercury is built on layout paragraphs. Again, if you all have seen, or if anyone here has seen presentations we've done in the past about layout paragraphs, this is going to be really familiar. Mercury uses a module called Stories for providing a library of component types or paragraph types that provide everything editors might need to, again, create really rich, dynamic, long-form content. Style options, which is a new module on Drupal.org for creating styles that can be applied to paragraph types, layouts, components, various plugins across an entire site. And then finally, Mercury Editor makes use of the CK Editor 5 module, which is currently a contributor module on Drupal.org and is slated to be included in Drupal core in an upcoming release. Really excited about that. Great, so with that, we're gonna toggle over to the Aten website and show how this works. Great, so this is our agency website running Drupal 9. I'm logged in here as an admin user, and you can see the toolbar across the top, the tabs across this content. As I mentioned before, the kind of content, or one type of content on our website that does a great job of showing Mercury's capabilities is case studies. So we'll bounce over to admin content, add new content, choose case study. First thing we see is just a simple Drupal form, which is probably familiar, certainly familiar to anyone who's worked with Drupal. Folder and skip all of these fields. We'll notice at the bottom again, we can see the moderation state here. Mercury works seamlessly with moderation that's built into Drupal. Hit save. When we hit save, we've essentially created an empty case study. And we have a message across the top that says we haven't created any content yet. This is configurable. This is provided by, we're basically seeing the layout paragraphs interface here. And start creating content. The way this is configured in this instance, and this is a configuration option, we have to create a section before we can create any other content. So that's the message we're seeing here. Add our first section. We see really simple layout options presented. And then this new styles tab where we can easily choose styles for our layout. These styles are completely configurable based on the needs of individual sites. So these are the styles that make sense for our website. Of course, not necessarily the same as would be for others. I'm going to choose this light on dark color scheme, grab a background color for the section, take a look at layout. Once again, it's just a one column layout. And so we've dropped this green section into the case study. When I click the plus button, I get a list of components that are configured for this site. Again, these are provided by the Stories module, which provides a complete library of component types. For us, case studies are very simple. They're built up of these 7 different component types. And the most specialized of the bunch is this item called masthead. We'll start with that. Choose a title, type a subtitle, filter the items from the media library, grab these 2 images, hit place. I'm going to just rearrange these images quickly, hit save. And there we have the masthead dropped immediately onto the page. We keep going here, and we're just going to go through the process of building this case study in its entirety. So we'll choose now a 2-column layout. We'll leave styles as they are. Actually, one thing we'll take a look at just quickly. On the Styles tab, we can edit styles for all of the different regions of a layout independently. So I'll go over to the primary region in this case, choose a different background color for the primary or first region. Make sure I have that. Yep, correct. Save. Great, and we can see that background color that I chose from the list. I mentioned inline editing with CK Editor. Mercury provides a really seamless experience for working with simple text. So when I hit text, it immediately drops the new text component in. I can paste my content. And again, just a really streamlined experience for working with text. Well, I'd like this to have a little bit of padding, so I'll go back in and edit that item, choose the padded style, hit save. We can see that, and again, immediately take effect. Add another text block. Once again, we're able to immediately just add that text into the interface. And we'll keep going. So we'll add another 1-column section. This time we'll drop in a simple ordered list about challenges in the project, some of the challenges we were trying to solve in the project. I'm going to go back into the section, take a look at styles again, and choose a different background color. And then also take a look at styles for this text block. We have this horizontal list for list styles, again, as a custom style for the site. Choose that, and again, we can see that immediately applied. One thing you'll notice, of course, we can delete any of these components. We can also move them around. So there's drag and drop controls for every component on the screen. This can be placed anywhere on the screen. There's also these shortcut buttons for moving components up and down. Let's add another section. We'll do another 1-column section. Add again some text. I'm going to style this to match the challenges list with that horizontal list style. Hit save. Great. We'll keep going. We're going to add a slightly more complex layout. So we'll go with a 3-column. Choose light on dark color scheme again. And choose a background color for our 3-column layout. Hit save. You can see the regions populated here. Let's go ahead and add text into this central region. We'll add a slideshow down below. All right, we can see that immediately dropped in place. Again, very much a what you see is what you get editing environment. You can even scroll through this slideshow right here on the edit screen. If we wanted to rearrange those items, we could click back into the slideshow, drag these around to rearrange them And see that order again immediately take effect here. Keep going, add another section. This time we're going to do a 3-column section. And we'll start with a piece of text on the left. Place some text in the middle. And then we'll throw an image into the right here. Working with content with Mercury is really easy. And again, that's something that was a huge focus for us. So once we've created this 3-column layout, if we decided that we actually wanted to lay this out as 2 columns, we can simply go back into the section, choose 2 columns. The system will ask us, and again, this is coming from layout paragraphs, but the system will ask us what we want to do with the items that would no longer exist because there are items in this 3rd column. Now we're going down to 2. So we can say, well, we'll move these from the 3rd or from tertiary into secondary. So it now is reorganize the content, putting what used to be in the 3rd column in the 2nd. We can continue to move this around. So we easily move this text over to the left, leave the image on the right, change the style to a heading, change the background color. And that text is not showing up so well in that background. So again, we'll change the color scheme there to light on dark. Save. We can see our changes take effect. And then we'll choose a different style, again, a custom style for this image, just to kind of make that take up the full vertical space. We go over to styles, scroll to the bottom, choose this media full. Again, these styles are completely customizable and based on the needs of individual sites. So these are the styles that we've set up, and they have meaning in the context of our website and our content, not necessarily the same as what other sites might choose to configure or use. We have the save and close button across the bottom. We can always just hit save and then close to see our work in progress. Again, looks really close to the editing environment. We can go back to edit content, scroll down to the bottom. We'll add another section. We're getting close to the end here. Do a 2-column. One thing you'll notice is there is a little bit of padding that's added by the editor, just so that we can actually see what's going on with kind of the editor Chrome and the various region outlines. But otherwise, again, really closely matches in the editing interface what you get on the front end or on the public facing side of the website. Add another image. Again, narrow this to bolder. Great. I'm going to add another 3-column layout and choose a background color for this. Hit save. Put an image in the header region here. Let's narrow this down once again. Great. We'll draw some text into this center column. And again, hopefully everyone's getting kind of a sense for how easy this is to use from a content perspective, from a content entry perspective, and just how flexible the system is. And then for our last section, again, choose a 2-column. We'll go over to styles, go to the secondary region styles and choose a white background color for this one. I'm going to add a background image. Let's see here. Add a background image for the section, hit save. see that effect, take effect, and see the region that we gave a white background over here on the right. Add another text block. Again, we can give that a little bit more padding. Save. Link here. Let's go to contact. Give this the button style. Great. Save. And again, we see those changes immediately take effect. So I'll scroll back up and just add real quickly one background image here. Great, we can see that background, just that it's added in the back of our section here. So I'll save this content. And then we'll close out. And as we can see, again, very, very closely mirroring what we were seeing in the editing interface. That concludes the demo piece of this presentation. Bounce back.